What is up, F&True followers and wrestling fans? I'm JC Styles here with the F brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com with the Monday Night Raw review for February 11, 2013. It was a pretty interesting night on Raw, really good leading into this Sunday's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. We finally have all the participants in the Chamber match itself for SmackDown, so we'll find all those out tonight with this review. With that being said, we're going to start off the show. We see Paul Heyman come out and he cuts a promo talking about how he's getting in the way of Punk's master plan of being the longest reigning WWE champion in history. He then talks about how he's distracting Punk and that he's getting in the way and he's causing too many problems and that things are going to get bad really, really quickly. Then it seems like he was almost praying to God in the middle of the ring, and then he announces that he's submitting his resignation from the company. He is leaving the company. Punk comes out and says, "Paul, you're not going. You're not going. There's a lot of people out there in the crowd that are Heyman guys as well. You can't do this. You're going to be there with me on Sunday when I capture the title and when I continue my reign as WWE champion for 455 days." Heyman says, "You're right, you're right." They go up to the backstage area. We then see the attacks on Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton from last week by Mark Henry. We hear and know that Rey is out of the Chamber match due to the attack by Mark Henry last week. We then see Mark Henry make quick haste over the Great Khali and then hits a World's Strongest Slam on Hornswoggle. Now, I understand that they're definitely building Mark Henry up. I have a feeling that he's probably going to be one of 3 picks that is going to take the Chamber match itself, and we'll get into it later on. We now know that Mark Henry will be in the Elimination Chamber. We then see Booker T and Teddy backstage talking about how good of an idea it was to bring Mark Henry back to the Elimination Chamber match. And then we see Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is basically telling them, "Hey, I won in the Chamber. I've been in more Chamber matches than anyone in this company, and I'm a 6-time World Heavyweight Champion. Give me the chance." Booker says, if you can win against your opponent tonight, you're in the Chamber. We then move into a fantastic match between Chris Jericho and Daniel Bryan. This match was phenomenal. These guys really worked very well together, and it was great to see these two interact in the ring. We haven't gotten a chance to see these guys go at it very often, so it was good to see these two get in there and mix it up. And they both have such great movesets that really complement one another, and you really rarely get that in the wrestling business. When you get two guys from different style wrestling backgrounds, and then they really put on a wrestling clinic, and that's what this was. This was a great match. We then see Vicky backstage talking on the phone. She hangs up and she says that she cannot deal with Paul's BS. He is then interrupted by pitching this master plan to adding a stipulation to the Rock CM Punk match. This is interrupted by Vince via cell phone. He tries to get Vince to add the stipulation of if The Rock gets DQ'd or counted out because of The Rock's huge ego, The Rock will be stripped of the WWE Championship and it will be rewarded back to CM Punk. Vince okays the idea and goes along with it. We then see the Shield advertised for later on in the night to make an announcement. We then see Cena, Sheamus, and Ryback defeat the 3-man Jobbers. No real thing there. Then they get on the mic and they talk about how they say if the Shield wants some, come get some, and that they want to take the fight to the Shield. We then see Big Show come out after the events of seeing a video package from what happened on Friday Night SmackDown. He comes out, Matt Striker gets ready to ask him a question, and Big Show knocks him out. That's what I like to call short and to the point. Big Show then grabs the mic and starts stomping around the ring for a few seconds, and then just drops the mic and goes backstage. We then see Jack Swagger defeat Zack Ryder in a quick, good match. Like I said, I've really, really been into Jack Swagger as of late since he's came back. He's been on the path of devotion and dedication, and that he wants this World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania. Everyone's gunning for that WrestleMania main event spot or that WrestleMania moment, and Jack Swagger is one of them. And I have to say that he is probably one of my 3 guys that I picked to win this Chamber. We then see Zebekiah Cutler, who is better known as Dirty Dutch Mantel, and Jack Swagger, cut a promo and talk about real Americans that don't, the current Americans today. I'm not going to get into it because it was very edgy and very non-PG as at a way. So they come out, they talk about Vietnam. He talks about Vietnam and being with Jack's father and everything like that. And then we go into the next match. We see Teddy and Booker talking backstage about Swagger and saying that Swagger has been so impressive that he is also in the Elimination Chamber match. So we went from just having 3 people announced to having another person, which is Jack Swagger. So at this current point, we have Swagger, Mark Henry, and Daniel Bryan. Rey Mysterio was taken out because of the effects from last week. We then see The Miz pick up the win over Cody Rhodes via disqualification when Cesaro was out and got on commentary and got interfered with the match. Excuse me, guys, it was a long night. We then see an oddly paired tag team of Brodus and Tensai picking up the win over Primo and Epico. God, I hope they kill this tag team quick and in a hurry because I can't stand it already. And this is the first time we've actually seen these two team up in a match. And I'm telling you, don't get me wrong, they worked well together. But the dancing at the end, I was fine with it just being Brodus and the dancers. Now you got Brodus, the Funkettes, and Tensai now, and it's just god awful. Please just kill this tag team quickly. The Shield comes out, cuts a promo talking about the system the system and the injustice that has been happening in the WWE over the last decade since John Cena has bursted onto the scene. They talk about their match with Cena, Ryback, and Sheamus. They keep poking and prodding and calling them out, and they finally get an answer. The lights go out, and Undertaker was spotted in Nashville tonight, and I was thinking that we were going to hear the gongs and Undertaker was going to come out and clear house. No. And just the Shield got a little bit of injustice of their own when they were attacked by Sheamus, Ryback, and Cena. We then continuously seeing The Rock being advertised for later in the night. Alberto Del Rio picks up a win over Damian Sandow. Post-match, Del Rio talks about that the fun and games are done. That show can go anywhere in his tour bus, wherever he wants. But after the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, Alberto Del Rio is going to WrestleMania as the World Heavyweight Champion to defend his title. Now, I've been really getting behind Alberto Del Rio and his current face turn. I think he's doing a fantastic job, and I hope WWE continues to do this because I honestly think that these guys are he is working very well as a face. His promos need to get a little bit better because he's used to working as a heel, so sometimes you don't you can't see him saying those words because you've been so long for seeing him as a heel, and he's getting used to playing the good side of the crowd and not the negative side of the crowd. So you see him, he's getting there slowly, but he's understanding. Pre-match, we see Bo Dallas attack Wade Barrett by ambushing him, blindsiding him, really. Then we go into Kofi Kingston versus Wade Barrett picking up the win. Now, I really hope they do something with Bo Dallas because I've been watching NXT for the last several weeks, and I have to tell you, he is impressing the hell out of me. He's had a good showing at the Royal Rumble where he lasted a very good amount of time. The matchup he had the night after the Royal Rumble where he picked up the win over Wade Barrett, he's really impressing me, and I could possibly see them working a feud between him and Wade Barrett, and we see Bo Dallas as Intercontinental Champion in the next few months. I could see that happening if they continuously push Bo like they are doing currently. We then see backstage, we see Ziggler come out, and he says that he should be given the last spot in the chamber match. Chris Jericho won and got into the World Chamber in the chamber match, and that Ziggler wanted in. Ziggler said that he wants the right to have a shot at 2 shots at the World Heavyweight Championship. Then Booker says, "You know what? If you want it, I got one last spot to fill. Whoever wins the match between you and the Big Red Monster Kane gets the last spot." We then see Kane pick up the win over Dolph Ziggler. So at the end of Raw, we now know that the SmackDown Elimination Chamber will be Randy Orton, the Big Red Monster Kane, Chris Jericho, Mark Henry, Jack Swagger, and Daniel Bryan. Now we get ready for The Rock. The Rock comes out, The Rock tells a story of buying his first car from a crackhead. Talks about his first matches at the Nashville Fairgrounds, making $40 a night per match. Then Punk comes out, interrupts, and them two exchange words. The Rock says, "If you want some, come and get it, because I'm going to kick your candy ass all over Nashville." Punk then gets in the ring. As Rock goes to bounce off the last rope to hit the people's elbow again, he is tripped up by Paul Heyman, then gets put into the GTS. Punk hits the GTS, grabs the title, and walks off. And that he gets on the mic one last time and says, "You tell me to bring it, but I'm going to do one better. Because it already belongs to me, I'm just going to come and take it." And he holds up the WWE Championship, and that's how we end the night. So, guys, for the Effort brand of wrestling and entertainment, please leave your comments in the comment box below and let me know your thoughts and what you thought of Monday Night Raw. Also, I'll put a link in an annotation somewhere around these four corners with the updated pay-per-view match card for the Elimination Chamber and a big change to the six-man tag team match at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. So, for the Effort brand, I'm JC Styles, and I'll catch you later.